Hey YouTube, I use a bunch of different iPhone apps for offline maps of various places I go mountain biking and hiking. The three main apps I use are Trailforks, Maprika, and Gaia GPS. I also downloaded Ondago, which only has a few maps, but one of them is the Kingdom Trails in Vermont and looks like it's probably a very good one. All of these are free except for Gaia GPS. Trailforks is my favorite. It has tons of mountain biking trails. It relies on the user community to upload GPS tracks of the trails in their area to their database, and not all areas have been uploaded, but the ones that have are generally excellent. If I go here, you can see Green Mountain Trails has a bunch, and if I zoom in on that, you can see the trail network. All the trails are labeled. Well, the ones that are easy are in green, medium in blue, and harder in black and red. If you zoom in on one of these and like say, I wonder what this green trail is like, and you tap on it, it'll show you that from the start of it, which is there, it is uphill and 1.3 miles long, all the way till where it ends, which is right there. So that's pretty awesome. You can actually get trail reports or make trail reports and say this trail is dry or wet. I haven't used routes. When you download regions, I have downloaded Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, Vermont. Let's go get Virginia. I'm going to click on the plus sign, click on Virginia, and that's how quickly it downloaded all the trails that it knows about in Virginia, which is pretty cool because the other ones take much longer to download. One thing that is pretty cool is if you get injured or something and you need to give someone your location, you just go to that and it tells you what number to call and what your latitude and longitude is, so hopefully emergency people can find you. To add trails, I do it from the website. I don't know if you can do it here. Okay, so it says you can do it from trailforks.com. I'm not going to cover that in this video. Oh, I forgot that up in the upper right-hand corner here, there's a yellow arrow. If you hit that yellow arrow, that'll take you to where you currently are. So this is where I am right now, and if I zoom out a little bit, I can see places I could go ride. So if I chose this one, the Ascutney Trails. Now, the map for the Ascutney Trails is not very good, but the map for Pittsfield's Vermont is good, which are the Green Mountain Trails. This is the Killington Bike Park. I don't know if that one's good or not. There are a lot more trails than what are pictured here. Unfortunately, nobody has uploaded them. The next app is Maprika, and Maprika relies on you to download maps of different places. Like if I do Pittsfield State Forest Family Trails, this is what that map looks like. It's not actually all that accurate. If I go back to Trailforks, this is much more accurate. So here we have Camp Winterdew coming in from the road and Beavertail. So that is actually very accurate. If I go back to Maprika, this has Camp Winterdew coming in, but you can see Beavertail, which is the blue line going vertically, doesn't continue on, whereas on the other Trailforks you can see Beavertail continues on up. Maprika for downloading, I am going to zoom out and try to find, so all those pins just dropped. I am going to click on the Around Me button. Up here there was Dartmouth Skiway Trail map, Dartmouth College campus map. So I'll try this Skiway Trail map and download map, view map. Okay, so it's a ski area thing. Let me try a different map. More maps. I'm going to search for Kingdom Trails in Vermont. Download map. See, I downloaded the whole state of Vermont. in seconds with the other one. So that's a pretty good map of the Kingdom Trails. Let's go see if there's a map on Trailforks. Let's see what this is. Darling Hill. So that's essentially the Kingdom Trails. So it's showing which trails are expert, which trails are whatever. This one is uphill only, but somebody did not designate it as uphill only. There's a trail called Sidewinder, which is downhill only, and that trail has the little arrow in the lower left-hand corner, indication that it's one-way only. That's Trailforks. Gaia GPS, I kind of wish I hadn't bought. And the only thing I've found this useful for is the Appalachian Trail. This one's much, much harder to read. You have to zoom in to a point where it's kind of useless. Let me find the Appalachian Trail. Okay, the Appalachian Trail is in this little corridor here. As you can see, I have to zoom in that far to see the word Appalachian Trail. If I'm zoomed out this far, it's virtually unreadable on my GPS. If I zoom out far enough to actually be able to use this for something, you can barely even make out the trail. If you want to change things up, you can choose from different maps, which is nice. The USGS topo is something you might be used to looking at. It's a little bit easier to read, but at least they have different layers. And sometimes open hiking I'll try. And if I look at that one, a little easier to read maybe than whatever else I was on. The Gaia topo vector map shows the trail. It doesn't have the detail as far as, well, I guess if you zoom out far enough that you can't read the trail name, it does show the topo line. If I go to the Pittsfield State Forest, so this has got the Camp Winnetou Trail, it's got the Beavertail Trail, it's got Whirlpool, Bear Claw. It's got the wrong names, but it seems to have most of the trails. It has one side of Honey Bear, but it's not quite all the trails. If I switch to open hiking map, that has a bunch of dashed lines, and these things are all too small to read until you zoom into that point where you can read Dublin's Run. I find this okay, except for all the text is way too small to read. Now, if I wanted to download this area, I'm going to click on Download Maps, and now I have to draw a little box around the area I want. So what I want is from this road here up to, oh, I could, this is Jiminy Peak ski area. I could go all the way to Jiminy Peak, and now I would have most of the Pittsfield State Forest. Okay, so I'd like to keep Pine Mountain and all that. There I could say save that map. And I'll call it Pittsfield State Forest download. So now it'll be available offline if I don't have cell phone coverage. This is taking quite a while, and you'll notice that it takes forever to download this. That Trailforks downloads instantly. Maprika downloads pretty quickly. This takes forever. So I'm going to leave this and just show you Ondago. Ondago is very limited on the maps that it has. It has the Kingdom Trails, got some Ironman triathlon thing, and a couple other ones that I think are from near the Vermont-Canadian border. If I click on Kingdom Trails and go to Summer Map, and zoom in on them, it looks fine. There's a new trail over here, Bareback. So this one has Bareback. Let me go to Maprika, switch to the Kingdom Trails, go down here, and it does not have Bareback. So if I go to Trailforks, it does not have Bareback. Sometimes you have to pick and choose your apps. This one's apparently better for an updated Kingdom Trail map. Trailforks is the best for a Pittsfield State Forest map. Gaia GPS is best for the Appalachian Trail, and that's about all I use it for. This is still downloading, as you can see. They're all good for offline maps. My favorite is Trailforks because of the detail and being able to click on a trail and saying, oh, that's cool, that's there. I have ridden Bareback, and I have a GPS track for it that I could go upload to Trailforks, and I might do that right now. And then Trailforks will be updated with the latest information and will be the best map out there. One thing I mentioned on Trailforks was the yellow little arrow that brings you to your current location. On Maprika, it's in the lower left-hand corner and it's a blue arrow. And this I don't like is it makes you switch to a map that is on that area. If you're driving to a location and you're trying to use Maprika to get there, it's very difficult to do because it's not seamless. Gaia GPS is seamless and it has this little button at the top center. It changes color and shape. One of these three things it is what I want, which is I want my location in the center of the screen and the map to point in the direction that I'm going. And one of these is like north up with the map fixed. One of them tracks you and moves the map around as you move. And the other, the last one, okay, that one is probably the one I like. As you rotate the phone, the map rotates with you. The other two, I'm rotating the phone right now and the map's not rotating. But I bet this one tracks your position but has north up. And this is the only one that works like I want it to work. I believe Trailforks is always north up probably. And apparently there's a little arrow at the bottom that's indicating the direction of your phone. From that way Ondago, let's see what it does. If I click on the lower left thing, nothing's happening. So I imagine if you're on the map, maybe it would track you or not track you, I guess. I'm not sure. But all the apps have that kind of a feature, which is really nice when you're trying to figure out where you are, especially if the trails don't have signs with the trail names or the trails on the map itself don't have trail names. Those are the apps I use, and if you have other apps you use, I'd love to hear about them. If you have an area that has not been uploaded to Trailforks, I'd really appreciate it if people would do that because I use this to find places to ride and it's awesome. Just fantastic. Thanks for watching and happy trails.